It's time for the Tyson Degenhart Show with Boise State basketball star Tyson Degenhart, sponsored by Idaho Central Credit Union. Find a branch near you or get more information at iccu.com. Now here's Tyson Degenhart with BJ Rains for another edition of the Tyson Degenhart Show on Bronco Nation News.
Hey, how we doing? Happy Tuesday night to you, Bronco Nation News. We appreciate all you guys for checking us out. My name is BJ Rains, but the reason you are here is for Tyson Degenhart and the Tyson Degenhart Show. This is episode 7, I believe, Tyson. We are rolling along here. And how's it going, man?
I'm good. Excited to get number 7 going on and excited to talk to our two of our freshmen here. So very excited for this one and excited to be back on the show.
Yeah, we finally got the intro updated a little bit. So Jeremiah Dickey's not joining us for the 5th straight interview, but we have happy to have the intro there. And yes, as you said, coming up here in a little bit, our special guest, 2 of the freshmen teammates of yours on the Boise State men's basketball team, Andrew Meadow and Chris Lockett. So we thought it made sense to have both of them on together. And we obviously know Andrew Meadow bursting onto the scene with 31 points, I believe it was, in that first game in Canada. Chris had a couple nice, tough putbacks, had the alley-oop on the big dunk that Andrew Meadow had. So both guys contributing up there in Canada. And I know we're excited to chat with and learn and get to know both those guys here coming up.
Absolutely. Excited for it.
Going to be a lot of fun. Looking forward to that. Get your comments in. Get your questions in the ICCU YouTube chat. If you have a question for Tyson, for either of our guests, if you have a comment, again, Andrew Meadow, Chris Lockett, Tyson Degenhart, they are all available to take your questions and your comments here when they join us in just a little bit. This show is presented, as always, by Idaho Central Credit Union. More than 500,000 Idahoans have made the switch to Idaho Central Credit Union. 1 in 4 Idahoans, to be exact. So everywhere you look, over more than 25% of all Idahoans are ICCU users, and for good reason, Tyson. It's just very easy. The mobile, I love the easiness of the app. The online banking, the mobile app is just so easy to use, and the Rains family, Bronco Nation News, happy that we made the switch and happy that they are partnering with you as well.
Yeah, I mean, I made the switch over, and my parents and my sister have also made the switch over, so that's a lot more. I mean, we're not Idahoans, but we're still a part of Idaho Central Credit Union. We're very thankful to have them as a sponsor, and they're a great credit union if you're looking for someone to handle your money.
You're an Idahoan now, man. Come on, get with it here.
My driver's license still says Washington, so.
Well, Nathan chiming in. Hi, Tyson. Is that your friend there?
That is my roommate.
There you go. Well,
he's tuned in.
Nice. We got Bronco Nation excited to see the new talent. So, yeah, looking forward to them. But speaking of talent, we got to start with the softball game the other day, man. The Boise State basketball players playing against the Boise State coaches, trainers, administrators, kind of the staff. I thought, first of all, Max Teams, I mean, that looked like the biggest moment of his athletic career. But he looked like he could play a little bit, actually. The manager turned GA. He was pretty smooth out there at shortstop. So all kidding aside, I thought Max was one of their better players.
He did play well. We were, taking ground balls at the very beginning, and you could just tell I think he had a baseball background at some point. He seemed like a natural at shortstop, and
yeah, he
did hit 2 home runs. So very good player for the staff team.
He was surprisingly one of the few guys that did not text me asking if I had video of their home run to send him. A lot of the guys were wanting to know. But speaking of home runs, somebody that we do have a video hitting a home run here, man. Look at the bat flip there. How'd that feel, man? I know you've hit some big shots in your basketball career, but taking Tim Duryea deep, how'd that feel?
It was a great moment. Going to extra innings, this was our chance to really, put the dagger in, and took advantage of a good pitch finally.
Some dance moves there too. Wow, that's pretty impressive, man.
I got a little something, but I don't show it too often.
Yeah, you stepped back to get into position here, man.
Well, everyone was like afterwards was making fun of me for like shuffling, but there was a little bit of a wind kind of pushing the ball, so I had to find like a good stance to get the barrel on the ball.
Whatever you did, it worked. Look at those. I like that. I think that needs to be the walkout there if you're the last player introduced during the starting lineups here this season. Maybe something a little similar there.
And maybe we'll have to wait and see, but definitely could be a possibility.
What was that? I know you guys have done a golf event. You've done that. Kind of fun to do some team building.
Oh yeah, the team building's great. Obviously we had the Canada trip to really build on like the basketball and to get to play together and get some guys that hadn't played college ball or hadn't played in 2 years and have those guys get to play and just mix in some different lineups. But just to get guys kind of out of their comfort zone a little bit, it's just fun. In the golf, we got to see Mo hit a driver and, he made some good contact towards the end and he started to really enjoy it. And then to see some of the guys who had a baseball background out there, I think we were a pretty good team if we were to combine and have like Cody on our team as a men's basketball team in essence for softball.
Couple of good moments. I thought Mo Silla had a couple swing and misses. I love you, Mo, but hit him. Don't think he's swung a bat very much in his life. No. I did like Larry Eustace and the Crocs trying to beat out a grounder at first. David Moats, though, on the losing end of this, appreciate him for watching, but he's tired of talking about it. He wants to move on to some basketball talk here.
He did make he was the only person to slide. He slid into second and he slid into home. So,
Red, he's probably the only one that needed an ice pack after the game, too. But
yeah. Red, I respect the effort. I really do. And he did hit a home run at least once, right?
He had a couple. He had a couple. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. It was that was a lot of fun. Appreciate Coach Rice for letting us come. What do you think of Coach Rice's swing there?
Oh, it was a good swing. He got some balls in play, and he had a nice little old BSU baseball jersey he was rocking, which was cool.
It was a authentic, and I guess we can call it retro now. Unfortunately, BSU baseball jersey, and he had the pants and the cleats, and he went all out. But I thought that baseball jersey was actually pretty sick.
It was a very cool jersey. If some of those sneak out, I'd love to get one.
The script Broncos that you guys have, I think, on your orange jerseys this year. That was pretty cool. So you guys I know you've been practicing. Tell us what's going on. School's going on. Practice is obviously underway and unofficially. You guys, do a couple practices a week. I think you get up to like 8 or 10 hours a week, but we're only a week or two away, about 2 weeks, I think. I think it's like September 29th or 30th or right around that Memphis football game next weekend, right? You guys are pretty close to officially being in preseason practice here where the rules change with the hours and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's coming up on us really quickly, but we're really trying to take advantage of these, 8-hour weeks that we have and just try to get, as much time on the court together as we can and just keep building off of what we built this summer in Canada. And once those 20-hour weeks start to come along, we'll really start to ramp it up and get ready for some scrimmages. And then, our first game coming around in November, which is, I think it's like 50 days away, which is crazy to think about how close it is.
I was going to say, does the season still feel a long ways away, or has it been so long now that it's actually feeling pretty close here?
I think if we didn't play the games in Canada, it would feel a little like closer or a little further away because, you haven't played in so long, but get a little taste of Canada and get to play 3 games in July and August. It still feels a little far away.
How I know been a lot of encouraging things about this team, but how you feeling about how things are coming together, man?
It's all the encouraging things are true in my eyes. We see a team that has really come together over the course of the summer, and we just continue to build off of what we did there and continue to get better each and every day. And so it's a really exciting time for Boise State basketball.
Well, let's get to our guests here in just a minute. But first, I was actually over at Lean Feast the other day. I actually saw Dave down there bringing meals to the football team yesterday. So I know Lean Feast feeding the basketball team, feeding the football team. And I know you and your girlfriend both NIL deals with Lean Feast. Tell us about what they got going on over there.
Yeah, Lean Feast, Brooke and I both have deals with Lean Feast. It's been a great option for both of us with our busy schedules and just having meals ready to go. I've actually tried their breakfast. They do have breakfast foods. They have egg whites, pancakes, hash browns, sausage, and all that kind of stuff. And I think for me, sometimes in the morning, wake up a little bit later, you need to make a quicker breakfast. You just pop that in the microwave for 2 minutes. It's ready to go. It's a great, healthy breakfast and fills you up. So I highly recommend Lean Feast to anyone out there. Go check them out off of Eagle Road.
Leanfeast.com/Meridian. You can go online, order online, have it delivered, or you can go there in, as I said, in Meridian off of Eagle Road near Ustick Road there. And again, you go in, it's all weighted by the ounce and how much protein you want, how much carbs, how much veggies. And the Rains family is loving Lean Feast, and it works, man. It works. I'm continuing to slow. It's taking a little longer now. I've kind of leveled off, but I'm losing some weight thanks to Lean Feast. They're doing it's just healthy eating, and it's great. And so we appreciate Dave and everybody over at Lean Feast. But our title sponsor, obviously, and the reason we're doing this show before we get to our special guest Tyson is Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU.com. We told you about them at the beginning of the show. But here's another quick word from Idaho Central Credit Union.
Hey, Forrest here. Nothing like getting paid. And with ICCU's mobile app, I can deposit checks or accept Zelle payments so the money hits my account fast. I just wish there was an app for mowing the rest of these lawns.
All right, our special guests are ready to go, Tyson. Any quick comments? They don't have the ability to fight back yet. They're still backstage. But any quick comments on Chris or Andrew to set up the interview here?
Two very, very good players, very highly touted freshmen, highly recruited, very excited to have them on our team, very excited to see what they can do this year and for their whole Bronco careers. So I'd like to give a warm welcome to Chris Lockett and Andrew Meadow.
There's Chris Lockett, and there is Andrew Meadow. Both of those guys nice enough to join us. How we doing, guys?
Doing good. And yourself? Pretty good.
We're doing great. Chris, any chance we can get you to turn the camera horizontal there? Tyson did a bad job of giving you the if you can unlock your screen, might just work a little better long term. Okay, there he just went out of there he is. If you can, cool. If not a huge deal. But all right, what Tyson's going to handle most of the questions here, but I guess I'll just take the first one. What's how you guys liking Boise? How you liking school? How you liking the team? Just how are things going these days? Andrew, why don't we start with you?
Everything's been great so far. It's always been my dream to play college basketball. So to be here in Boise and playing my dream and going to school, making new friends and creating bonds with my teammates, it's been great so far.
What for you, Chris?
It's been good for me, adjusting to, the Northwest, atmosphere. Everyone is nice. School's been pretty good, fun and easy, bonding with my teammates on and off the court. It's been pretty fun, like I said.
All right, Tyson's got some hard-hitting questions set up for you, so we'll turn it over to Tyson here for a little bit, and appreciate you guys both for coming on. Tyson, the floor is yours, man. Let it roll.
All right. Kind of go off that, like what's the biggest difference or what the hardest thing that you have adjusted from like being in high school to now being in college? Chris, we'll start with you for this one.
I think the time, I think as a high schooler, you don't have that much like freedom, but like in college, you go to practice and basically the whole day is yours. You might get homework done. You might play the game, might get some extra work in. So I just say there's a lot of freedom.
Andrew, to you?
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. I think just the freedom aspect and just figuring out your daily schedule because you have so much free time, like just trying to get a schedule down so you aren't all over the place and trying to get the same thing every single day.
And I got to ask, like, how different is the schooling? Like, is it pretty similar? Like, how are classes going so far? I know freshman year might seem a little slow, but, I just got to ask how those classes are going.
Oh, it's pretty similar to my high school. We pretty much doing the same thing we did in high school with the discussions and just getting the work done. It's pretty easy to me.
Andrew?
I think it's a little more difficult. I think high school was a little more easier. I think there's way more assignments now, but I've been getting the hang of it, just trying to figure out like the due dates and all that stuff.
Yeah, it definitely seems like once you get to college, it's just there's you don't go to class every day. I think that's like the biggest thing that I had to change is like, in high school you go to all 6 or 7 of your classes every day, and then Monday through Friday, and then when you get to college, you have some classes Monday, Wednesday, some Tuesday, Thursday, some Wednesday, Friday. Then you have a lab in between. I think personally for me that was the biggest challenge. And got to ask, what are you guys studying? And Andrew, we'll start with you, just to kind of let people know, get to know you a little bit better.
I'm doing business. I think, especially now, and with the way like sports are, I think business is the most beneficial. Building your own brand and stuff like that.
You, Chris?
Yeah, I do business as well. We both take the same class, so it's we just learning from each other. And to piggyback off Andrew, yeah, like I think majoring in business is pretty much just marketing yourself and just seeing how business can take you far in life.
Absolutely. Do you guys obviously it's probably nice to have each other as roommates, going through a lot of the same stuff. Are you guys able to really bond over some of the, hardships that you've been through in college so far? Just to be able to bounce ideas off of each other, be there for each other. How's that going so far?
It's been pretty good. I mean, just watching Andrew in the summer, shoot every day, it motivated me to just be in the gym and just get better because, he's my roommate. He come to me with questions. I come to him with questions. We just bond on and off the court, honestly.
Yeah. Me and Chris have gotten along really well so far. We're both freshmen, so we're both going through the same thing, that big adjustment period. So it's been good to have someone else that you can relate to and just help each other through the hard days.
Absolutely. And I like what you say, Chris. It's definitely motivating to see Andrew in the gym all the time, whether it's early mornings, late nights, anywhere in between. And you're in there as well. You've seen it, both you guys in there. It's very motivating to see both of you there, especially as freshmen, it's made an impact on me. And I'm sure it's made an impact on the other guys, just seeing you in there and putting your heart and soul out for the team. And I really appreciate about that. So we're kind of going to go back to the Canada trip. What'd you guys think of it as a whole? We'll start with you, Chris.
Well, it was a learning experience. I mean, just playing that type of competition level. I mean, being from New Orleans, you really rarely have basketball competition, versus being from California, where you have to play against probably a top school every night, like Andrew's from there. It was pretty eye-opening for me, and it humbled me. It was a humble experience, just, motivated me to just be in the gym even more.
I had a lot of fun on the trip. My first game, I obviously came out, I had 31 points, it was crazy feeling. I felt just like all the work I put in the summer was just all coming together. And I was just playing my game, just going hard every single play and not forcing anything. But it was definitely a learning experience as well, just adjusting to the speed of the game and just know I got to get better each and every day because we're going to be playing much better teams.
Absolutely.
Throughout the year.
Absolutely. I think the biggest thing, for me going from high school to college, is just the speed of the game. And I know Canada's just a little different because they play a lot faster with a shorter shot clock and all those kinds of things. But the speed of the game definitely gets sped up. But if you're able to play at your own pace, that's the easiest thing. Just play at your own pace. The game will come to you. You don't have to force anything. With such a great team around us, we have so many different options, and just playing the right way, I think everything will start to come to you and you'll get a feel for it. So what did you guys think about the rafting trip, though? I got to ask about that because I know you guys weren't in my raft, but my raft had a good time. I'm wondering who was in your raft, and do you guys enjoy that trip, that part of the trip?
Yeah, that was super fun. It was me, Chris, Omar, and Lex. We were on a raft. It was super fun. It was crazy because the first time I went on the Boise River when I got here, I thought that was big, and then once I went on that, I was like, the Boise River is nothing compared to that.
Yeah, it was me, Burns.
Burns.
And Lex. Burns had a lot of fun, motivating us because Cade and Jace invaded our raft when we got off. But it was pretty fun. It was my first time. It was a good experience. We saw an eagle, so that was pretty fun.
Absolutely. Is there any type in New Orleans? Is there any type of river like that you can float, or
No,
no, not at all.
No.
All right. What about you, Andrew? I know you're from California. Is there any river near you, or are you closer to like the beach and the ocean?
Yeah, the beach is probably the closest, and then there's some lakes and stuff, but the beach is probably the closest thing.
So now I want to touch back. We saw some highlights of that 31-point game, Andrew. Like, I haven't scored 31 in a college game, and you've already done that. I think, what do you think that shows about your game, like that Bronco Nation can really be excited for this upcoming year?
I think it's just that I just have a natural way to score the ball, because I feel like I don't hunt out shots. I just let shots come to me, and I'm not going to force it. But if my shot's not falling, I'm gonna be playing the hardest I can on the defensive end. So I'm just going to try to do everything I can to help our team win this year.
Absolutely. And Chris, we had your highlight here of that lob to Andrew. Is that something that we're going to see throughout you guys' careers here? That connection between you two, the roommates, throwing it to one another, finding each other on the court?
Nah, definitely, that's for sure. Being around him and just, being in the gym with him, just studying him for sure. You can see a lot of those. And with a lot of other my teammates like you and Buzo and Keen for sure, just making the right plays and just making winning plays.
Still can't get over this, Oop. That was a very exciting start to our Canada trip, and really excited that you guys got your first 3 games out of the way in Canada, because I would have loved to have a Canadian trip when I was a freshman. It'll help the transition, from high school to college, and kind of bridge that gap. But the main reason I want you guys on the show today is I want the fans to get to know you a little bit better. So first, I'll start with you, Chris. Kind of take us through your upbringing. I know you're from New Orleans, but just kind of take us through your basketball background, how you ended up at Boise State.
Started playing basketball around 4 years old. My dad just, practicing with me every day, just watching Kevin Durant and Kobe in the living room together, just going to the parking lot, just working strictly on defense, without a basketball. So he helped me fall in love with the game, just playing it the right way, winning. I got addicted to winning. Won 2 state championships in high school. What else? How I got connected to Boise State, Berto called me, and he's good friends with my high school coach, and he's been trying to recruit me, but he was at a different school. So when he got the job at Boise, he was just like, okay, I'm going to go after you. And just, we were just talking every day, and he was just telling me that, Boise don't really recruit everybody. Leon don't want anyone to run the culture around everyone. So he was just like, I'm going to come to New Orleans and just meet with you and your family and just, get to know you even more. And then we just scheduled a visit. I came on my visit. I met you for the first time. You just, we ate dinner. You just told me everything. And it stuck out to me because, some players, lie about that, but to actually see it, it was truly amazing. Went to the Washington State game in a neutral site. You saw the fans, how crazy they are. That just stuck out to me, how crazy they are in a neutral site versus at a home game. And then, I got on the phone, talked to my mom because she couldn't make the visit because she had to be at my brother's game. Got on the phone with her, and, it was a done deal.
So for those who don't know, your coach is Randy Livingston, correct? I'm just making sure I don't. He was the coach of the Stampede back when the Stampede was still here, and that's how they got connected. And was he on the visit? I don't remember if it was your dad.
It was me and my dad.
It was your dad. Okay.
My dad. Yeah.
I was just making sure I wasn't thinking. I was pretty sure it was your dad. Just wanted to make sure. But it's funny that you mentioned the fans. We've kind of built basketball up the last 2 years. We had 1 sellout my freshman year and 3 this past year. Seeing all the fans at a neutral site game. What are your expectations for the fans this year in Extra Mile?
I expect it to be crazy and loud, very exciting. We have a great team this year, you could tell by off the court, we always joking around. We always, hype and excited to be around each other. And on the court, we just competitive and compete like we don't even know each other. So that just plays a big part in everything.
Absolutely. And Andrew, we'll bounce it off to you. Tell us a little about your upbringing, kind of how you ended up in Boise.
Yeah, so I started playing basketball at around 7 years old, and I started falling in love with the game each year, even more and more. I started really taking it serious like when I was 10, 11. I never played on any big travel teams until I was like 15, 16. And I really started like taking big jumps in my game, I would say, when COVID hit. So I kind of see it as like a blessing in disguise, kind of, because I was outside at the park every morning just working out with my trainer, just me and him, and more people started to come. So that's when I saw the biggest jump in my game. It was the freshman year to like my end of my sophomore year. That was the biggest jump. And then I played EYBL the last 2 years, and that's when I started really picking up my recruitment. Coach Moats, he started recruiting me, and then he saw what he liked, but Coach Rice hasn't seen it yet, so he wanted me to come to the elite camp, which you and Cade coached me in, and I played really well, and we should have won, but a couple calls down the stretch didn't go our way, but yeah, so I got the offer there, and I committed a few days later, and then yeah, it was just the perfect fit for me. Just my game, I saw my game in your game, and I knew that being at this school would fit for me. And Coach Rice and all the coaches said the same. So it was just all around the best thing for me and everybody.
Absolutely. You're the second person. So when I came to elite camp, I was coached by Coach Duryea, and we had to call off the camp. And if you ask Coach Duryea, he'd say, well, we would have won the camp. But if you ask Coach Burns, he will claim that, oh, we were undefeated. We beat you guys earlier. But he'll still, that the claim to fame is that he won the camp. So funny story from elite camp. But I think it's pretty cool how we have like 4 or 5 guys that were at elite camp that played, on our actual team. And for a lot of elite camps, you really don't see that. So what does that say about like the BSU program, that we really do recruit and we really use the elite camp as an actual recruiting tool?
Yeah, for sure. That camp was like, that was a real camp. It wasn't like those camps where it's just like everybody just ball hogging, trying to get 40. Like, we were playing real basketball as a team, like running real action, and everybody was competing. All the games were close. So it just shows that like it wasn't just a like random camp, like putting together on the fly. It was well put together and well thought out.
And I have to ask you guys definitely had, I would say, a little bit different recruiting process. We'll start with you, Andrew, since you're already on the screen. Who were some of the other schools that you were considering before committing to Boise State?
My last top 3 was Pepperdine, San Francisco, and then here. That was the top 3 I was going with. I had a couple other options, but those 2 were the other ones that fit better than the other ones, because I'd wanted to go where I was wanted the most and where I fit the best. So I didn't care really about like the name or what it was. It was just about where I could become the best player.
Absolutely. And you, Chris, who was kind of your top schools before committing to Boise State?
LSU, Texas A&M, Baylor, and Houston. I just like piggybacking off Andrew. I just wanted to come here, make my potential, rise, and just, the best fit for me, honestly.
Yeah, it seems like if you pick based on the best fit, that's what seems to be working for you guys, and that's what worked for me. I think that's just really important for, some of the guys that like tell them that, the best fit is where you want to go, because you can go to like, let's say, a bigger school and not get to play, but there's the name, but you don't get to develop the way that you could develop at like Boise State. I think that's something that'd be very important to tell your buddies, and right. Like, yeah. So I don't know if you guys have looked, like there's some mock schedule kind of out. Are there any games that you guys are looking forward to? I know we have a pretty tough schedule, probably one of the tougher ones that we've had in Boise State's, in Coach Rice's tenure, but any games in particular looking forward to?
I think the Orlando trip. Yeah, I think the Orlando trip is like marked on our schedule, and going to Clemson. That whole stretch is just gonna see how the season goes. Honestly, it's gonna be mentally tough and physically tough, but I think we'll come back undefeated. Honestly.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Clemson, the Orlando tournament, and then I was gonna say San Francisco too, just because it was one of my other top schools. So I definitely want to want to beat them as well.
Absolutely. Is there like what Mountain West school are you closest to, Andrew? Like in California?
Probably San Diego State. So that'll be a big one too.
That'll be a big one as well. Chris, any conference game you're really looking forward to? Any teams?
Yeah, San Diego State, Nevada. Just those teams. Just hearing about those teams. About y'all guys talking about them. It's pretty exciting.
Absolutely. So now that you guys have like been in our program for 4 months, what are your impressions on Coach Burns and his defense? I have to ask you guys that because it is something to be seen, and you don't really know it until you actually experience it. And I'll start with you, Chris.
He gets on me a lot. It's just fun, just like hearing him scream because his intensity, and I love his passion for the game, and I like when I mess up because I could just learn from it. So, when you meet him off the court, he don't seem like that, but when he's on the court, passionate. He's so passionate and intense.
Absolutely. You, Andrew?
Yeah, I love his passion, and I just love how much of a better defender I feel like I've become just from these past couple months. Like, I feel like when I first got here, like I would be getting burned like off drives easily, but now I feel like I can stay in front of guys better and just getting to the right spot. Not even about like being quicker, or it's just being in the right spots that he's taught us, and I even use some of our concepts on 2K, so it's been helping me.
What have you been using on 2K? I gotta ask because I'm not a 2K guy, but I need to know.
I'll be peel switching in the park, so it's been
okay.
working.
It's been working. All right.
Yeah,
I like
that's what I do too. We do that as well.
You do it too?
Yeah, we do that as well.
You guys go to the park together on 2K?
Not yet.
Not yet. We gonna work on it for sure. We gonna work on it.
I'm building my squad up so we can beat Chris's.
Are you guys on the same platform? You guys Xbox or PlayStation guys?
I'm PlayStation. He's Xbox.
But it's crossplay now.
Oh, it's crossplay now? I was going to ask because I know like in the past it hadn't been crossplay, but it's now, right? And is it 2K24, 2K23 that really –
24.
24?
Yeah.
So go back on Coach Burns. Like, what do you think of the rest of the coaching staff? Because I think like looking at it top to bottom, we have probably one of the most incredible coaching staffs like out of the whole country. Just how veteran we are and all the different people we have, and it's so dynamic. We'll start with you, Andrew. Like, what do you think of this coaching staff, and what have they really shown you that we can do?
Yeah, I think our coaching staff is just perfect because I feel like we have like just one coach for like everything. If that makes like Burns' defense, Duryea's offense, like Moats does rebounding. Like I feel like it's just like everything you can do, you have someone that can help you to the best of their ability, and all around is just perfect to make a winning team.
Chris?
Yeah, I think it's the perfect puzzle piece. Every piece fits well with each other. D is the offensive guy, Burns is the defensive guy. So, just working with them and just, picking their brains and asking questions to learn even more, it's always better for us, honestly. Lex working with the point guards and Berto working with the bigs. So that's just always good for us.
Absolutely. And I think I got to ask you guys this because obviously he's a volunteer staff, but what do you guys think of Larry? Because, you see everything in the media, but I don't think the media does it as anywhere close of what he is to our team. I'll start with you, Chris. Like, what do you think of Larry, and what do you think he brings to this team?
He's a cool, laid-back guy, just drops knowledge every now and then. He's a funny guy, someone I'll chill with off the court. He's super cool, honestly.
Yeah, I think he's a great guy. I've learned a lot from him, and just the experience that he brings, like from all his years of coaching, like it's something that is unmatched because he can really help out our team in ways that if he weren't there, that we probably wouldn't have gotten that help.
Absolutely. If you guys have any more comments and questions, put them in the comments. We'll get to them at some point. We'll get them towards the end. I know we do have a question here. Where do you get your rec specs from James, Meadow?
Liberty Sport. I'll have a little deal with them. So it's a Liberty Sport rec specs, and I've been wearing these since I was like 7 years old, the same brand. So to have like a deal with them now, it's kind of special.
Did you once NIL kind of came out, did you start talking to them like, hey, let's do a deal because I've been wearing the rec specs since I was a little kid. Like, I'm gonna be a Division I athlete and playing at Boise State, like all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I definitely once I saw NIL starting to like make its like get bigger and bigger, I talked to my parents, talked with my trainers and stuff, and it was definitely like the right idea. And they haven't that company hasn't had like big NIL stuff yet, so it's still a work in progress. But it's just a blessing to even be a part of it at this point so far.
Absolutely. And one more question on the rec specs. I know obviously there's a hindrance in sight, but why did you choose the rec specs over like contacts per se?
I don't know. I just started wearing glasses, and then obviously I couldn't wear glasses on the court, so I got them, and then like I just liked them. Like everyone like always thinks like, oh, like he's the goggles, like he probably sucks, but like I see it as like just my look, and it's like it's unique, and I don't care what anyone says. I'm going to keep it.
Are you going to keep the long hair? Because I came into college with long hair and I cut it. What are you going to do?
I'm going to keep it. I trim it every couple months, but I'm going to keep it long for sure.
All right. Chris, what do you think of like Andrew's look? Like, I think it's super cool because I know people may look at him and be like, oh, this dude's not a hooper, but he is a downright hooper. So what do you think about his look?
It's cool. I mean, some people do think that, though, because, like, I was one of them before I even watched him. I was like, who is the kid with the goggles, like, on that team? So, like, when I watched the play, I was like, yeah, he's fluid. He's nice. So it's just been good watching him play, honestly.
Did you guys ever play each other in EYBL?
Nah, he always had he had the big games. Like, he was in the harder pool. Like, cause
everyone came at us with their best game just because. Yeah.
So, like, you obviously played for Strive for Greatness and got to play with Bronny and all them. Like, do you have your story of like meeting LeBron that you could tell on the air?
Yeah, it was pretty random the first time I met him because I was just like sitting down like in the hotel on my phone, and then like I see a hand and I look up and it's just like him dapping me up, just like, what up, bro? And I was like, damn, that's LeBron. Like it didn't even process it at the second. But then he watched me play. And he would talk to us from the sideline, come in at halftime and stuff, and give us pointers. So just to be able to like listen to someone like that talk to our team is just crazy because like I've watched him all my life. To meet him, and then I hit a game winner in front of him too, which is probably one of my favorite moments from my playing experience.
Did he give you a big dap up after that?
No, I ran back because there was like 1 second left, so.
Okay.
I didn't want to give up a bucket. I wanted to make sure we got the game winner. But he was all hyped once they called timeout.
Chris, do you have any like very famous people that you met? Like I know LeBron's a hard one to compare to, but
I met LeBron before.
You have?
Ronnie played on a team together when we was little, but he moved to Cali and I stayed playing for the team we played for. But I met LeBron. I met KD's dad. We played against him my 16U EYBL Peace Jam. We played him the COVID year. It was pretty good experiencing that, talking to him, one of my favorite players' dads. He coached them. And we always, when I see him, it's always what's up, keep in touch always.
Absolutely. Keep filling in the comment section with your questions. We're going to wrap this interview up here pretty soon. Got a couple more questions for you guys. I know you guys are pretty recent to Boise. What's your like favorite restaurant you've been to since you've been here? We'll start with you, Chris.
I think Burger Belly. I think it's just versatile. I've been there every other day, in the summertime. Just went there today and Sunday, so it's been pretty good.
Are you more of a like go there for breakfast type guy?
Lunch. I don't really I eat breakfast, but at the same time I really don't. But I just get lunch and dinner there.
Okay. I've heard their burritos are good, so that's just.
So I have to try their breakfast for sure.
Okay. You, Andrew?
Yeah, I was gonna say Burger Belly too. We went there like every day in the summer when their dining hall and stuff wasn't open. It was the spot to go to.
What's your guys' go-to order there?
Grilled chicken sandwich, plain with just cheese, side windows, and strawberry lemonade.
Mine was
Andrew, your go-to?
Either the grilled chicken sandwich or I tried the fish sandwich too. It was pretty good with fries and a lemonade.
Did he just freeze up there?
Yeah, I must have froze up.
Oh, you're still frozen, Tyson. There you go. Upgrade that Wi-Fi bill, man. We need to get you. And you got one person you don't have an NIL deal with, I guess, a Wi-Fi company here. Come on.
Well, what's going on?
Come out and come back. Oh, there you are.
Am I good now?
Yeah, you're still a little blurry. I was actually going to come in
freezing. What the heck?
You're all right. I think we can maybe come out and come back in. I don't know. I think it's all right.
All right.
What's All right, Andrew and Chris. Let's flip the script here. We have some fun with this. I didn't give you a heads up, but you've been having to answer Tyson's questions for 30 minutes here. You got a question or two for Tyson here? Put him on the spot in front of Bronco Nation here. What do you got for Tyson here?
Damn. What was the hardest thing about your freshman year, mentally?
I'd have to say not necessarily knowing my role right away. Because at least through the first 6 games and even in the closer scrimmages, I kind of thought of myself as come in and make an impact and in any way I can. I figured it probably wasn't going to be scoring, but just playing defense, rebounding, doing all the little things. And there were some games where I'd get a little bit more minutes, and it was just kind of hard to, figure out what that role was going to be. And my advice for that is just stay consistent in your work, and your opportunity will arise. And then if you continually put in the work and are confident in yourself, you'll take advantage of that opportunity and take it and run with it.
Gotcha.
I would ask, what's been your favorite moment so far throughout your 2 years of playing here?
They tie together, but it was the winning the regular season, Mountain West my freshman year, along with the conference tournament, just kind of like starting 3-4 and kind of throwing that in the past and then winning 14 in a row and doing something Boise State's never done before. It was just an incredible experience just to see us at our lowest point and then just rising to the top. Really showed how our team really came together in that moment and said, we're not going to let these 7 games define us. And really took it and ran with it and made history because of it. So,
well, those are both great questions, guys. Those
great. Yeah.
That's we've had. But what's it like learning from Tyson, watching Tyson, guys? You guys are freshmen coming in. I mean, I want to say he's the grizzly old vet, but it's only his 3rd year too. But I mean, he acts like he's been here about 10 years. What's it like, I guess, whether you're asking questions, whether you're just watching quietly from afar at times? How does Tyson handle himself, I guess, that has helped you guys, you kind of make that adjustment to college ball here?
It's been great learning from him. Watching him in practice is just it's someone that you want to be in the next couple years. And especially as a freshman, I know he won the freshman of the year in the conference. That's definitely a goal of mine too. So just to study how he plays, how he helps the team, and then also his leadership role. I definitely want to become a bigger leader on this team throughout the year. So seeing how he leads is definitely something that I'm going to pick up on.
Yeah, his leadership is, very impactful to me, just talking to me after practice, giving me pointers on what to do and how to move and just telling me what to do and how to do it. He's a great leader for sure on his team, just watching that and just picking up on everything quickly from him.
Well, Tyson, why don't you get to our your signature question here, and we'll let these guys go.
So my signature question is one I ask to every single one of our guests that come on the show. I think it kind of resembles you're growing up and everything that's happened in your life. And so I'll start with whoever's ready. We can go right away, but it's who in your life has made the biggest impact on you besides your close friends and family?
I think.
Yeah, you got it, Chris.
I think Randy, I want to call him as a family, or he's just someone that just took me under him, when I didn't want to, I really wanted to start playing basketball. So he just, motivated me, talked to me, just be there for me when I'm at my lowest. I think that's someone that's just been there through everything.
You froze out. Just say who it was, because we got
Randy Livingston.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Very good answer.
And then mine, I would say, is my trainers from back home, Taylor and Travis. They've been a big part of my life and my basketball journey, just teaching me things on and off the court to be a better person and a better player. And they've stuck with me through every low moment, every good moment, just keeping me level headed and just to keep pushing forward.
Those are great answers, fellas. I really appreciate that, and hope Bronco Nation really enjoyed getting to know you guys tonight. And BJ, do you have any more questions for him before we?
No, man, I think they did great job. Awesome stuff. Looking forward to keep watching you guys. I guess you got the Cal scrimmage coming up. It sounds like David Moats in the chat here was teasing about a where was it here? October 7th. It looks like maybe some sort of fan scrimmage. Looks like he's teasing that coming up here in a couple of weeks. So I guess, I mean, how excited are you guys just to get it going for real here? I think next Friday is technically, or around in there is the first real practice. I know not much is going to change, but you got what's your anticipation, I guess, guys, just going from the kind of 8-week summer off-season program to the 20 hours in season kind of program here pretty soon. I mean, what are your guys' thoughts on just kind of getting the season going for real?
It's pretty exciting, to start the year off, right? Starts in practice, honestly, just competing and just wanting to compete against each other and make each other better.
Yeah, I'm super excited for all the practices leading up to season because, I mean, you don't get many practices as a full team, and it's an exciting time of year, and I'm just excited to play the first game in November.
Well, looking forward to seeing you guys out there. Appreciate you both. Bill says Andrew, the next Kurt Rambis from the Lakers there. Probably not the first time you've heard that, or we'll hear that, but everybody's excited. Looking forward to seeing you guys play. Can't wait to see you guys. Thanks for joining us. So, yeah, guys, appreciate you both for jumping on. I know you got homework or something. It's a school night. Get back to your homework here. We appreciate you coming on, and we'll be talking to you guys soon, man. Best of luck this year. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for coming on, fellas. Much appreciated.
Appreciate you.
There they are. Andrew Meadow, Chris Lockett Jr., Tyson. Good stuff there, man.
Yeah, they are very mature for their age. Coming in as a freshman, they had a lot more stuff dialed in than I did. And so to see their growth over the last, 4 months has been incredible. And just seeing where their potential could be is awesome to watch. You mentioned when you were talking to him how much you wish you would have had a Canadian trip. I mean, it took you a few games to kind of get going in your career. What do you think that does for those two guys? And we mentioned Andrew Meadow, 31 points in his first game. He's now kind of a social media sensation already. And the dunk and Chris getting the assist and having some of the putbacks and things that Chris did. What do you think that does? I mean, I know they're still freshmen, but how much further along from a confidence standpoint when they play that first game on November 7th, are they going to be having those games in Canada, you think? I think they're going to be a lot more confident, going through the whole pregame warm-up and kind of how we do things, and they get a grasp of that, and just knowing that it makes everything a lot easier. I know for me, I get a little anxious about not knowing what's going to happen, especially with the fans and everything, and just didn't really know what to expect when it came to a college game. And to have those 3 games in the summer for them has been huge, and I'm really excited to see what they can do on the court. Yeah, and it is crazy, man. You're a week away or whatever from the first official practice here. We need to get David Moats on the show. What do you think about that? I like it. He's definitely on our list of future guests, that's for sure. He was our first guest, actually, and he's turned us down 7 weeks in a row. But hopefully we can hopefully at some point David will stop big timing us and come on. Yeah, we need to get him on. He'd be a treat for us to have, and yeah, he'd have a lot of stories to tell, that's for sure. You mentioned, both those guys mentioned being business majors. You're a business major, right? I am. I'm actually, after this semester, I'll be for sure a finance major. Okay. What is it like? I know sometimes you do the summer courses, they'll ease the course load, but what is it like, I guess? Maybe explain to folks being a student athlete. What comes with all the hours in season, the travel, everything else, but also having a full course load as well. It's definitely a challenge. There's a lot of things going on in your life, especially when games start and you're traveling. And I think a lot of us have online classes, so that helps us at least travel with our class. And so we're not missing in-person classes. And, we carve out time on trips to do homework, and we do have a study hall area on campus for us to go to work on a computer, get some homework done. A lot of us have hours there that we're supposed to get each week to make sure we stay on top of our work. And so we have a lot of resources here that help us out when it comes to schooling and also on the court. So it's been a great experience here, and happy that we have all the resources we do.
James says need to get Brooke on the show.
We'll have to talk to her, maybe closer to softball season.
There you go. Matthew says, come on, Coach Moats. David, we appreciate David for sticking. Lexus Williams as well would be a good guest. I agree.
That would be fun because I was on his podcast last year.
Oh, we can turn the tables a little bit.
Turn the tables a little bit. I can actually answer my top 5 movies and top 5 shows correctly this time.
Sky says, have you seen Austin Bolt playing rec ball on campus, dunking on folks? Is he that good? I don't remember when you joined. I don't remember when this was, but there was a time, I think this is public, but I mean, at one point there was a real thought of Austin Bolt potentially joining the basketball team as a walk-on. I don't remember, but he came to some pickup games with you guys, right? I don't remember if you were on the team or when that was, but I know there was a thought, and it was kind of up to the football coaches, I think, that maybe he was going to try to play both at one point. I know it didn't work out, but you've played against him, right?
Yeah, I have. Just knowing his high school career, winning a state title with Bora and being Gatorade Player of the Year in both football and basketball is a pretty huge accomplishment in itself. And when he plays, he brings a lot of high energy, rebounds the ball really well, super athletic, can defend. So very good player, that's for sure.
What is the competition like amongst? We saw you guys playing softball, obviously. What is I'm sure all the football players think they can still hoop it up. I'm sure some of you guys, somebody had said to put you at receiver for the next game. Is there still a lot of you guys going back to the high school glory days thinking guys can play other sports and stuff? Uh-oh. You froze up again, Tyson. There you are.
I know for me, like I know I could not put on the pads and be ready to go to play receiver or tight end. Like that's just, there's no way I could possibly get ready for that. And I think that's what makes it so special is like, you know, you really specialize in a sport and you can see how much you can improve. And I'm really excited to see what the football team can do this weekend with a big conference game.
Hey, I wouldn't. I think Kobe Young has a bright future on the basketball court here, but I wouldn't mind seeing Kobe Young line up at receiver for this team.
Whew, that would be. He was a good receiver in high school. I can tell you that.
Yeah. How you feeling about your Mariners, man? They're a game and a half back in the division. I feel like. I think they're what are they tied for the 3rd wild card spot right now? What are your thoughts on the Mariners here, man?
They're up 2-0.
All right, there we go.
We need to take advantage of the A's. It's an exciting time because throughout most of my life, the Mariners have been not good. They've made the playoffs once, and it's just exciting to know that they have a chance to make the playoffs, and it's kind of in their own hands because they have so many games against Texas and Houston, who are ahead of them in the division, and so it'll be exciting to see what can happen over the next 12 games or so.
And you are a pretty hardcore diehard Mariners fan, right?
Yeah, I was when I was a lot younger, and then I kind of had this phase where I didn't watch a lot of baseball. And then once I got to college, being around Burke and Keene and Sam, and just being around how much they love baseball, it kind of got me back into it. And I'd have been a Mariners fan. I have bobbleheads back in Spokane of, I'm trying to think. They were 116 win team. I have Felix's perfect game, like K card on my wall. So I have a lot of stuff from back then, but I finally got back into it, and I had to get some more Mariners merch that actually fits me correctly.
Would it be sweet if it was the Astros that you guys take down just to quiet Keene a little bit?
It would be, but we know at the end of the day they are the reigning champs, and we do not have a World Series ring, so that conversation would get shut down pretty quickly.
So are you a Seahawks fan then? Or who's your NFL team?
I'm a Seahawks fan. I'm a Seattle fan through and through.
Okay.
They have a big game against the Lions.
James says maybe we can get Jay Tuss on the show. You can nerd out over the Mariners together.
Mike Burns in there too again.
There you go.
That would be a huge M show.
That's what I think we should do is if they make the playoffs, just have a watch party where we just stream you guys watching the game on here.
Have Sam Winter join us as well.
Okay. If the Mariners make the playoffs, would you go to a game?
If there was any way possible, yes, but
that's right during practice and games and stuff, man.
That's the hard thing is it's probably not likely.
Come on, Coach Moats, get an off day for them so they can.
Ultimately, my season's more important than the Mariners to me, at least, and so
yeah. Well, it would be
very cool to go to a Mariners playoff game, though. I will say that.
That'd be incredible. As someone that's been to multiple World Series clinching games, that would be pretty cool for you if you got that opportunity. Hopefully you will.
Hopefully sometime in my future.
Well, you said, that Seahawks, man, overtime win in Detroit.
Especially after Detroit beat Kansas City in KC with a couple extra off days, and Seahawks did not look good against the Rams, especially in the second half. And excited to see what they can do because there's a lot of hype coming in, and we've had some injuries, but they just were resilient on Sunday.
So they got Carolina on Sunday, I believe, right?
Carolina's an exciting team with Bryce Young at quarterback, and they got some good weapons on offense, and should be a good game on Sunday.
Did you get any pointers, by the way, from Brooke? Your girlfriend is on the softball team. You guys had the softball game. We forgot to mention it was a little bit rigged. I mean, you had your girlfriend as the home plate umpire there. We had Cam Martin's girlfriend umping at first. There were a couple of close plays where Mike Burns was punched out at first base. He believes the officiating was leaning towards the players on that. He said maybe next time that his wife and Coach Rice's wife could be the umpires, even things up a little bit. But your take on the strike zone, I guess, and were you using your girlfriend's glove there at first?
I was not. I actually bought that glove so I could play catch with her. I had to get a first baseman's glove to make sure it hold a softball.
And I don't have the clip, but you had quite the backhanded pick there. You looked like you knew what you were doing, man.
Well, I had one time she took me out to the field, and she started tossing me balls to learn how to pick correctly, and her and Bernie before, they kind of taught me like the first base, you get to the bag, you stay there until it's thrown, and then you stretch, because I was stretching too early, and that definitely helped me throughout the day. And it was a fun day. I enjoy playing first because you're in a lot of the action, especially on ground balls, and it was a fun day.
Yeah, well, that was. I know there's some talk maybe at some point about the football team does their little charity softball game. I think football versus basketball for the collective would be quite the softball game.
I think you get a good crowd out for that one too. I think football has a lot of good. I know Maddox is a great baseball player from what I saw from that game, and
Ben Ford. There were some other guys. Yeah,
a lot of good athletes. So I think it'd be a fun game to have. Maybe in April when everything's kind of settled down, and
we got to make that happen, man. Football team versus the basketball team. Come on, Joe Nickel, let's make it happen for the collective. The home run derby as well could be football versus basketball. That could get pretty competitive too out there. I think that'd be a lot of fun, man.
It'd be a lot of fun just to compete in sports that we both really don't play as our number one sport, and just have a good time. And I think we'd have to play it at the Boise Hawks Stadium. I think it's a little small at DLP with us being only 60 feet away, and that ball coming in pretty fast.
Yes. What do you make about the softball team? Do you guys like? I know it's there. If it was fast pitch, certainly they would like just crush you guys. But if you played a slow pitch game against the softball team, would you have any chance?
I'd say some chance, but probably not very well. They're a lot better hitters, or at least more consistent than us.
Probably better fielders too.
Yeah, that too. But hey, you never know. I don't know if that's ever going to happen. But
I've seen some videos where like the basketball team will face like the fast pitching in the box. And do you think you could hit one of their main pitchers thrown at you?
Maybe 1 out of 15. Like I understand like it is hard to hit a softball because the ball can go so many different directions based on the pitch, and it would be fun to get in the box, but I don't know if I really want to, and I want to keep my ego a little bit better.
Now, isn't Brooke a pitcher?
Brooke is a pitcher, yes.
Have you faced her before?
No.
She's never asked you like to stand in the box just for practice or something? Come on.
No, she hasn't.
That might be. Would you do it if we could set it up for some charity or something here? Come on, what?
Yeah, I'm sure I'd do it. I got to talk to her and make sure she's okay.
That's kind of a lose-lose for her, because if you get a hit off her, then it's like, oh, you got a hit, but. I don't know.
I talk to Schultz too. Schultz is the one. I've talked about Schultz before, but he's kind of iffy on it.
He is, because like I said, I saw Kansas or somebody do it, and I sent him the video, and he's like, the last thing we need is basketball player getting hurt or someone hitting one and hurting somebody. Probably better off not happening, but fun to think about. But
better off not happening and just have it as a hypothetical.
James is a big curling guy. He says the real question is, can Tyson curl a stone onto the button in curling? Have you ever done curling before?
I have not. I've watched some curling. I don't understand the whole thing, but I know they have like some sort of like broom or something, and they put
there is
like,
a Boise curling clubs. Maybe we can get you out there.
Isn't there like, don't you push the snow in front so the stone like slows down?
You
chisel the
spread
ice.
it out, chisel it out to make it go faster, I guess, to keep it going. Yeah.
I don't know, but
Yeah,
it seems like an interesting sport because there's a lot of strategy to them, where like the target is and knocking different stones off, and kind of like shuffleboard in a way.
Any final thoughts as we get ready to wrap this thing up, man? Another episode 7 now in the books. We should be honest, in full transparency. We've been trying for a while now to get Marlene Trump. We are hopeful that will still happen at some point here. But we have been teasing that for a while, and she's obviously very busy right now. Did you see the story that just came out from Yahoo a couple hours ago, Yahoo Sports, about the possibility of regulation if the Mountain West and Pac-12 were to kind of split it up and have 8 teams in each, and in football and basketball, every 2 years the bottom 2 teams would move down and the top 2 teams would move up? That's
quite interesting. What do you mean by move up? Like,
so the Pac-12 would be considered the higher league. Kind of like Premier League soccer, kind of like you saw in Ted Lasso. And the Mountain West would be, quote unquote, considered the secondary league. But there would be 8, there'd be 16 teams, 8 in each. And then the higher league would get a little more money in the revenue and the budget, and maybe some better TV games. And there'd be every 2 years, there'd be a game where the 7th and 8th, the 2 teams would play, and one team would get to move up and somebody would move down, and there'd be some different teams moving and going. You could be in the Pac-12 one year and you could be in the Mountain West one year. How about that?
It'd be quite interesting. I don't know if the bigger schools would necessarily be on board with that, and like not getting as much money. Definitely an interesting idea, because you see it over in Europe with basketball. Yeah, their professional basketball, their soccer, but we just don't have it here in the States. And
they're talking about one kind of unique way to preserve the Mountain West brand. It would just be Washington State, Oregon State, and then you add in some new teams, and then the teams move up or down based on a point system. And you could have a team in the Pac-12 one year and the Mountain West one year, and back and forth. And I guess it's one of the many things they're talking about. So we'll see. But you guys are playing Washington State either way next year or this year.
Yes, we are in Spokane. I'm very excited to go back home for Christmas. That's for sure.
Nice how it works out for you. You get to just stay there for a couple days.
Have some good memories there. That's for sure.
That was an awesome game a couple years ago for you and Najee going back, and you guys getting the win there. That was your freshman year, man. Pumping up the crowd behind the bench. That was a lot of fun.
I've been talking to my parents. They're not going to get the seats behind the bench. They're going to go across the bench this year.
Okay. That's going to be the section this time.
I believe so. I think that's the word on the street.
Okay, cool, man. Well, it hasn't been announced yet, but maybe you already know. I mean, I'm assuming you're going to be heading down to media days, correct?
I think we just do the media day here.
No. This year is in Las Vegas in a couple of weeks, buddy. I think you may. I haven't heard yet, but I would assume that your trio of you veterans would be in the mix. You and Max, maybe. But the Mountain West is partnering with the WCC. They announced today, and they'll be having a joint WCC Mountain West Media Days at Resorts World in Las Vegas. Men's and women's. October 12th, I believe, is the men's day. So we'll see. I have to think you're probably in the mix for preseason player of the year in the conference, at least a first team selection. I would suspect you'll be one of the 2 going down to Las Vegas. That'd be a nice honor for you.
That would be very cool. It's always cool to see, be a part of media day. And like last year we didn't travel, but this would be very cool to go down to Vegas and get to talk to the media there and get to have an experience that doesn't happen too very often. So
hopefully it happens. And if it does, don't forget about BNN here. We'll be down there set up doing some shows. Don't do all the interviews with the national guys and give us the cold shoulder down there.
Are you going to be at Circa when you're down there?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, I have the deal with Circa, but and I think they talked about doing it at Circa, but you have to be 21 to get into Circa. So folks like yourself wouldn't have been able to get in to Circa. So I don't know if they wanted maybe the preseason player of the year doing the interview outside because he couldn't get in. So I think they moved this to a different spot. Resorts World teamed up with the WCC, and I will probably be staying at Circa, but then just Ubering over to Resorts World for the day.
How far is that apart? Like, I'm not
probably 15 minutes. I don't know if I can get the Circa limo or not to take me over, but we can at least we can probably get an Uber and make it happen. But Jordan K and I will be down there for BNN. Looking forward to I think it'll be fun, man. Get like Brian Dutcher and Linder and Nico Medved, get all the interviews with all these other coaches and kind of get to know them a little bit and get them on the show and do some things with you guys. And then I'm hoping WCC is going to be down there. I would love to have a sit down live BNN interview with Leon Rice and Mark Few together. I think that'd be pretty cool.
That would be very cool. I know how tight they are, and they always bounce ideas off of each other, and they talk very frequently. And to know both people, it's very cool.
Maybe we should just make Leon Rice guest BNN host for a day, because he could just help do some interviews with Jeff Linder and with some of the other Mountain West coaches, and we could just have Coach Rice hang out on our set all day, and just I think that could be pretty fun.
You'll have to ask him about that one.
Yeah, we have to figure that out. We'll see, but that is coming up in a couple of weeks. Maybe I'm putting the cart before the horse, but I would assume that there's a strong chance we'll be seeing you down there. Hopefully that happens, and looking forward to that if it does. That's October 12th, I believe. But we're hoping to do one more episode either next Tuesday or the week after before we kind of go monthly on this. But we're going to try to get one more in here. I mentioned we're trying to get Dr. Trump. We would like to get some of the volleyball and soccer players maybe as well. But eventually, once the season gets going here, we are going to go back to monthly. So we can have you focus on the season here. But we're still going to have Max and Kate, I believe, on at some point. We haven't had Buzo on yet. We thought those guys would be good to have on, like kind of during the season, to talk about some of the games and things like that. Probably could circle back with Coach Rice at some point as well once the games get going. We mentioned Coach Moats and Lexus. I think Berto would be great. So we still have a lot of guests to get to. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And we're through 7 episodes now, man. How's it feel?
It's crazy. We've already made it to 7. Just seems like we keep getting great guest after great guest on the show, and we just gotta continue to keep it going.
James says we should get your professors on here and find out how you're doing in class.
My parents are both teachers, so I've learned to take care of my grades.
Okay, all right, there we go. Yeah, well, I think you're probably that's probably one of the things we don't have to worry about is the eligibility status of Tyson Degenhart for the grades there.
Should be all good to go.
Perfect. Hey, man, appreciate it. Nice job. 7 episodes in the books. Thanks to Chris Lockett. Thank you to Andrew Meadow for both giving up part of their evening to jump on and chat with us. It's kind of funny. They're roommates, and they're probably like in their separate bedrooms in the same apartment doing that. But that was nice of them both to jump on. And appreciate all the comments you guys had. Appreciate all the questions. And make sure you check out ICCU next time you're looking for a new bank, or even if you think you're happy with your bank, make the switch to Idaho Central Credit Union. You'll be happy you made the switch. I thought I liked my bank. As part of their deal, I made the switch, and I haven't been happier with my banking, with all the things you can do online and move money around and things and pay off my truck loan. ICCU is the best. So we appreciate Shelby and Clark and everybody over there for helping us out, and hope everybody has a great rest of your evening. And again, we'll be back episode 8 in the next week or two. A lot of great guests still to come, a lot of great content still to come. And again, Jordan and I will be live tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. with BNN Live. And then heading to San Diego. We'll have Prater on Thursday, Tust on Friday, and the big football game against San Diego State. You've had a couple good memories, or some memories there in San Diego, a couple good games there the last couple of years, and you guys will be heading back there. It has been announced the final game of the regular season is at San Diego State. So you guys had San Diego State in for your senior night last year, and now you will return the favor and have to play on their senior night to finish out the regular season. That's going to be quite the way to finish the season. Hopefully a title on the line there for you two teams. That could be a lot of fun, and I know there's been some memorable football games in San Diego as well. So looking forward. I love San Diego. It's my favorite road, Mountain West City. I'm looking forward to getting there this weekend, and I'm even going to check out a Cardinals game on Saturday as well against the Padres. So get a little baseball action in here this weekend. But Tyson, appreciate it, man, and we'll talk to you real soon.
Appreciate it. Thanks you all for tuning in. Excited to see it. Another episode coming up here pretty soon.
There he is, Tyson Degenhart. Episode 7 in the books. Thanks again, ICCU, our title sponsor, Lean Feast, Tyson Degenhart Show, presented by Idaho Central Credit Union at Bronco Nation News and BroncoNationNews.com. Have a great evening, everybody.